Today we have member statements from the districts of Harbour Main, for the members for the districts of Harbour Main, Windsor Lake, St. John's Centre, Topsail Paradise, Placentia West, Bellevue. The Honourable Member for Harbour Main.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I speak in this Honourable House to recognize the dedication, hard work, and sacrifice by residents, employees, and management of personal care homes and community care homes since the beginning of the World Health Pandemic. Within the Harbour Main District, there are 7 care homes: Admiral's Coast, Hazelwood Community Care Home, Tobin's Guest Home, Butterpot High Haven, Woodford's Comfort Care Home, Easton's Personal Care Home, and Collingwood Downs. Mr. Speaker, the endurance shown in these difficult times by our seniors and others with special needs is truly inspiring. Our most vulnerable were isolated from family and friends for months and still are restricted to a limited number of visitors, and yet they adapt with grace and serenity. As well, the compassion and hard work of staff and administrators in skillfully adapting and keeping our seniors safe and secure in the face of such hardships is a remarkable feat indeed. I ask all honourable members to please join me in congratulating the extraordinary people who live in these homes and the staff and administrators of Newfoundland and Labrador care homes for their perseverance, leadership, and ultimate triumph over adversity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Windsor Lake.
Mr. Speaker, I would acknowledge Emma Realis, who received the Seniors of Distinction Award. Emma has spent years respectfully advocating and providing social and cultural support for both individuals and communities. Emma's worked with various women's groups, youth groups, and other deserving members of the community. Emma is an elder and a residential school survivor. And when I spoke with her this morning, she remembered my involvement in the legal action for collective healing and reconciliation. Emma has been a board member of First Light, the St. John's Friendship Centre, among whose many services for clients is jobs placement. Emma embodies the definition of an elder. She's wise, respectful to all, and has a passion for sharing her traditions and knowledge to keep her culture alive for coming generations. Mr. Speaker, I ask all honourable members to join me in congratulating Emma Realis on receiving the 2020 Newfoundland Labrador Seniors of Distinction Award.
The Honourable Member for St. John's Centre.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gary Mathai said, "Until you dig a hole, you plant a tree, you water it, and make it survive, you haven't done a thing. You're just talking." As an environmental activist and founder of the Green Belt movement, Gary Mathai knew a thing or two about planting trees. The same can be said about Chris Shortwell and the Tessier Park Neighbourhood Association. On September 26th, I joined about 40 volunteers to plant 175 fruit trees and shrubs at Tessier Park, a small green space in St. John's Centre. With the funding from Tree Canada, support from the City of St. John's, the Botanical Gardens, and Sobeys on Mary Meeting Road, Chris' goal was to establish a fruit tree forest in the heart of the city. I believe he accomplished that. We spent hours digging, planting, watering, and talking. And that's what made the day a success. People of all ages who love and are committed to the future of their neighbourhood came together to plant trees. After all, we do not plant trees for ourselves, but for future generations. I ask members to join me in recognizing the Tessier Park Neighbourhood Association for making our world just a little bit greener.
The Honourable Member for Topsail Paradise.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is an honour for me to congratulate Judy Sparks of Paradise Centennial Lions Club, Lion of the Year 2019-2020, in recognition of her outstanding service and loyalty within the community. After retiring from a 35-year career with Canadian Forces in 2016, Judy returned to her hometown of Paradise and dedicated her free time to helping those in need wherever they may be. She is a dedicated line and involved in many club projects and continues to give back to her community. Judy will be found at the community cleanups, fundraisers, food drives, Santa Claus Parade, the Gathering Place, Ronald McDonald House, and just to name a few. Judy is a charter member, holds the position of secretary, where she received the Best Secretary Award for District N4 for 2018-2019, which was chosen out of 51 clubs. She's also chairperson for New Voices for Women, a program developed by Lions International to celebrate women's contribution to Lionism. Mr. Speaker, I ask all members of this House of Assembly to join me in congratulating Judy Sparks for her dedication, commitment, and loyalty to her community. Thank you.
The Honourable, the member for Placentia West, Bellevue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I bring honor today to a very honorable man in my district, the beautiful district of Placentia West, Bellevue, Fire Chief Alex Cody of the Marystown Volunteer Fire Department, as he hangs up his bunker suit for the last time and is retiring after 35 years of remarkable dedication and service. Mr. Speaker, on Saturday night past, the brigade held an award ceremony that I was very honored to attend and present this year's Years of Service Awards. During the ceremony, the firefighters showed their respects to Chief Cody and honored him for his legacy, not only locally, but provincially as well, acknowledging his training and mentorship to many. Chief Cody, in his retirement, is joining a very prestigious honor roll of lifetime members. I ask all honorable members to join me in giving Chief Cody their sign of gratitude for 35 years of selfless commitment to his community, region, and province. Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Mr. Speaker.